I was notified that Croydon Control, who was the mobilising control for my area, had ordered an appliance from West Norwood Fire Station into Brixton to cars alight. The ordering slip also indicated to the officer in charge there was civil disorder in being. That is why Croydon Control notified myself, because of the civil disorder element of it. In any division of the London Fire Brigade, there's always someone in command of that division, plus there'll be a number of senior officers responsible for overall fire cover within the area. The two officers I ordered into Brixton when I became aware there was civil disorder in being was a Division Officer Butler, my namesake, and an ADO Titchband. I dispatched them to the incident, and then I became aware that a second call had been received to cars alight in Brixton, once again emphasising there was civil disorder in being. It was on that second message I decided to attend the incident myself and proceeded to Brixton. Right at that stage, whilst en route to Brixton, I overheard a radio message from my namesake Division Officer Butler that he had withdrawn all fire appliances, fire engines, from the area because the crews are being attacked by hostile crowds. He ordered those to proceed and to meet him at a rendezvous point, which is the Orange Coach Station, as it was at the time, which is on the corner of Salton Road. I went to his established rendezvous point, Salton Road. Each crew which was sent into the right area was fully briefed, as fully as I was able to, and also fully debriefed when they returned to the rendezvous point. Their experience was they was being attacked by huge crowds of mainly youths throwing bricks at appliances. We had a number of fire injured, about half a dozen, which had their windscreens shattered through bricks being thrown. We had personnel suffering injuries. In total, there was something like about 14 firemen or fire officers were injured by missiles being thrown at fire engines. No, on each occasion, each time we got a call, a fire engine was mobilised from the rendezvous point to try and negotiate a safe route and to extinguish that fire. There were occasions, like the two public houses, which we just could not get to because of the level of the civil disorder. There was two public houses. One was the Windsor Public House, the other one was the George Public House, which, as you will see by the photographs, they were destroyed by fire, completely destroyed by fire. Because we was not able to attend those areas because of the surrounding hostilities, and secondly because the police were not able to provide us with any protection. The police themselves were extremely busy trying in some form to control those disorders. We managed to put out several fires, the majority of fires. It was only when the hostility was so great that we were prevented from the general public, the rioters, from attending and putting those fires out. The vast majority we did put out. There were some isolated car fires, which I ordered crews, if the fire was in an advanced state and there is no other risk to human life or surrounding property, to let it burn. Because you will see the rioters were setting these cars and vehicles alike, and we were seen to be trying to counter what they was trying to achieve. The reason one let them burn, which is very foreign to a fire service, was simply there would be too great a risk to the crews, the fire engine crews, in staying in that location and trying to put the fire out. Yeah, let me make it clear. The fire service has always been regarded as a completely neutral agent. We have no political or social bias whatsoever. We are normally welcomed into buildings, into somebody's car alight. But on this occasion, the situation was totally the opposite. Because we was trying to put out fires which they wanted to burn, that, you know, we were seen to, you know, be providing them with difficulties. At that stage, I had about 26, 27 years in the job, and I'd never ever experienced that level or any opposition to us putting out fires. We was always most welcome. I always, after every incident I go to, let alone a riot situation, I always reflect on it and how could I have done that better? And to be perfectly honest, no. I was satisfied with the procedures which was very off the back of your hand proved to be successful. No, it was only one night. It happened over the course of 3 nights. But the most significant was certainly the first night, the 11th of April, the Saturday 11th of April. The following 2 nights, the Sunday and the Monday, it happened but to a much lesser degree. What do I remember seeing? I obviously remember seeing unruly mobs of people. I obviously saw police, which had little protection in those days, trying to bring it under some control. I also remember cars burning, buildings burning. One was very frustrated. One could not do anything about that because of the riot situation. These are things which stick in my mind. Yeah, what I know of that is that at some stage, I'm not sure what stage, the police thought it might be a good idea to put a policeman on each fire engine to escort it into the Brixton area. That I completely dispelled because of attempting to maintain our neutral image. I did not want the general public to see us associated with the police. What did I learn? I learned, it came home to me, how flexible a fire service needs to be to deal with all manner of changes of situations. I don't know what else to say actually in respect to that. What did I learn? What did I learn from the Brixton riot situations? It reinforced my already held beliefs that in the fire service you can be called to a whole range of different incidents and circumstances. You never know what you're going to next. However, I did learn I did learn what I thought was the best way to deal with the next right situation, should a next right situation occur, which I was involved with. The George Public House in Atlantic Road, that was completely gutted by fire. Brigade appliances did attend the incident in the early stages, but were driven away before they could fully extinguish the fire. We did, however, return many hours later to fully extinguish it, but in the meantime, the pub had been destroyed. One of many car fires. There were numerous fires in cars. The cars, most of them were completely destroyed by fire. Some of those cars were indeed police vehicles. That is some terraced buildings off of Atlantic Road. As you can see, they were completely destroyed by fire. An example of a car fire and the amount of debris there is in a roadway. They were the remains of objects thrown at ourselves and the police. Another shot taken the following morning, which once again shows you the amount of debris which had been held at us and the police during the riots. Yeah. The plumber merchants off of Rowton Road or Atlantic Road, once again severely damaged by a fire. The brigade attended in the initial stages but were driven away by the rioting mobs. The brigade returned later to fully extinguish the fire. Just another example. That's Walworth, yeah, where you have Walworth in the background. Once again, a shop with dwellings above, which was completely gutted. That shows a fire situation in the distance there. In the foreground are police officers. As you can clearly see, there was no such thing as riot gear for police officers in those days. They just had their normal wear and apparel. Always have photographers in the fire brigade. Something special. Where there is when there's an arson fire, when we suspect arson, when there is a body lost at a fire, or an unusual situation such as this.
I see.
The officer out on the fire ground can summon the attendance of a brigade photographer. Once again, an example of how the police were dressed in those days. Shirt sleeve ordered, some of them. It just shows you there was no protective equipment as such given to the police, In those days, they was wearing their normal undress uniform. Some were even in undress in shirt sleeve order. Another example of the police in their normal wearing apparel, no riot gear as such. Just a picture of Brixton Fire Station, which is located in Gresham Road, Brixton. We call those two appliances, one is a pump ladder and one is a pump, but to the average member of the public, they are just two fire engines. Yeah, I would say fire appliances have obviously improved over the last 30 years like everything else. But I think as a result of the right situation, I made one of my recommendations was that the appliance windscreens be made of laminated glass as opposed to just normal glass. Not just normal glass. As opposed to just reinforced glass. Another picture typical of the remains of buildings which are left after the right situation. That was probably taken the following morning. You see there a police vehicle had been turned over, early stages of the riots. Another example there, three vehicles destroyed by fire. Another picture of the George Public House, taken the following morning, the Sunday morning. As you can see, completely destroyed by fire. There's a picture of Boutique in Cold Harbour Lane, completely, totally destroyed by fire. Picture taken on the Sunday morning, a plumber's merchants with dwellings above, once again completely destroyed by fire. Because it's such a simple way to achieve whatever their objectives were. The mission I would like to put across is for the general public. The general public is to be fully aware that the fire brigade, any fire brigade, is a completely neutral agency. We have no political or social bias whatsoever. We are just there to help people in distress. Yeah, it was disappointing. It was, yeah. Yeah, but of course we were there and we was a uniform presence. And of course everything was at fever pitch situation. that we were just there to be attacked. We was trying to counter what they was trying to achieve. They was trying to destroy buildings. We were trying to prevent those buildings being destroyed. One was obviously very disappointed that the general public were trying to attack the fire service. Yeah, because we are only there. We have no social or political bias whatsoever. We are solely there to help people in distress, to save their lives, their children's lives, to prevent their property from being destroyed by fire. That is our sole purpose. No, I don't believe anyone was. I think those firemen were there were only proud to be part of it. They were proud to be part of it.